Hey, welcome to iGyan. Today we're checking out some cool gadgets and accessories, so let's quickly get started. We're starting off with this really compact power bank. Now, this is a 5000 milliamp hour power bank, so it's designed as an on-the-go power bank. It has two built-in plugs, so you have a lightning connector as well as a USB-C port. Not only does this plug directly into your device, it also has a kickstand on the back, which allows it to stand up like this. And then you do also have a wireless charger on the top, which is designed for Apple Watches. It's really compact, as you can see, and the connectors do fold in to place so that it becomes even more compact. And you can pull out the connector that you want and plug into the device that you need. And then you can use the stand to stand up the device. The device does have a maximum 22.5 watt output from the USB-C jack, and it also supports pass-through charging, so you can have a cable plugged in while charging your device. The Apple Watch can also be secured directly onto the device for longer periods of charging, so you can simply tie in your strap and have it used as a portable charger. Now, this device is compact and can be used in emergency situations for a boost of charge when you are running low. Go check it out, we'll have it linked in the description below. Now, big shout out to our members who get to view this video and all our videos early. You can go check out memberships by clicking on the link in the description below. Next up, we're checking out this flat USB-C cable, which does have a right angle connector on one end. Now, this is a flat cable, but it has a really nice braided cord, which allows it to be extremely durable. The coolest thing is that the right angle connector is also hiding a display, and the cable itself supports 100 watts, so the display will show up to 100 watts of power being transferred through the cable. Now, the display is nice and easily viewable, and this cable itself is 1.2 meters in length, and a right angle connector can come in handy in many situations that you may have. Again, we'll have this linked in the description below. Next up, we're looking at this EDC flashlight. This has a few modes that we'll talk about, but it also comes with a built-in hook. On the front of the light is the main light, which also puts out a 500 lumen output, but this is also adjustable and focusable, so you can have it in a square light output, which gives you a sharp output, or you can have a spread. But then on the front, you can also see these LEDs. You can double click on the light and you can switch to these LEDs, and they offer up 3 levels of brightness as well. The built-in hook can be used to attach to a backpack or simply hang the light anywhere. This thing weighs in only at 35 grams, and the sharp beam can go all the way up to 500 meters. For the price, this is a lot of light. Don't forget to go check this out. Next up, we're checking out this pen style multimeter. Now, this is a digital multimeter that automatically switches between AC, DC, resistance and continuity. It also has a non-contact voltage detection mode as well as a live line checker, so it also works as a tester. To start off with, you do have replaceable tips, so it does come with a standard probe tip, but you can swap it out with these other tips that are included inside the box. You also get a negative probe that you can attach to the back of this, and then, for example, if you probe a battery, you'll be able to see that it automatically switches to DC, and it'll give you the voltage of the battery. It also has a built-in non-contact voltage finder, so you can trace lines if that's what you need to do. You can also switch between modes manually because you do have buttons on the side, and this does have a built-in light as well as a flash on the front, and you can also use the hold function to hold the numbers so that you don't miss them. A really useful tool to have, and is much more compact than the traditional bulky meters, and is something that you can have in the house or in the office for a quick use if so needed. Next up, we do have another power bank. Now, this is a 10,000 milliamp hour power bank that is available in a few colors, but at this moment, it is selling for 1/4 its original price, making it a fantastic deal. Now, you can see that it has a display built in, which shows you not only the battery percentage, but the hours of charge remaining. This has a nice textured front, which does hide the display properly when you are not using the display. So it looks like there is no display, but once you turn on the display, you can actually see the display from the front. The main button is on the right. If you double click it, it'll go into low power mode. On the top, you do have a USB-A port along with 2 USB-C ports, and this gives you a maximum output of 25 watts, and it can also charge at 25 watts, making it super cool. Now you can see it's slim and compact, and that's the button I was talking about. So if you press it once, you get the percentage display, but if you press it twice, you also get the hours remaining. And if you're charging, it'll also show you how many hours of charge is remaining. Pretty cool power bank, and it is available at a fantastic deal at this moment. We'll have it linked in the description below. Next up, we're checking out this travel accessory. Now, this is actually a toothbrush holder, and it is designed to not only be used when you are traveling, but also when you are keeping this device in your house. Now, you're asking yourself, why is there a toothbrush holder on the video right now? And that is because this is not just an ordinary toothbrush holder. You can see that it has a nice plastic body overall, but you do have a leather-like strap on the top to secure it in place. So when you're traveling, this is not going to fall out. But if you look towards the left, you will also find a button that you can press along with a USB-C port. Now, this USB-C port allows this device to be charged or recharged, and then if you press the button, it enables a UVC light designed to sanitize your toothbrush, so that you are not only keeping your toothbrush clean, you are preventing any kind of mold from forming on your toothbrush. Now, like I said, this can be used not only while traveling, but also at your home. And it also has a built-in safety feature. So when you open the lid, it turns off the UV light so that it doesn't damage you. Now, it has a built-in cycle. So it'll sterilize your toothbrush after you press the button for about 3 minutes. And then if it has still been in the case for about 8 hours, it'll rerun that sterilization for about 3 minutes. It has a built-in 1500 milliamp hour battery that'll give you 15 days of this sterilization cycle, which is good enough. And you can fully charge this toothbrush sterilizer in just about 2 hours. A pretty cool and handy device to have, especially if you travel a lot. Go check it out. We'll have it linked in the description below. Next up, we are checking out this rechargeable soldering iron. Now, this is a battery-powered soldering iron that can go up to 450 degrees Celsius, so it can be useful for those one-off soldering jobs that you may have around your house or your office. Now, if you're somebody who does soldering on the regular, this may not suffice for you, as the battery backup may not be sufficient for a full day's worth of use. But because it is USB-C chargeable, you can use this on the go if you need it for those one-off needs. Now, the tip is replaceable, and you can see that it quickly manages to melt the solder. It does allow you to switch between 3 temperature ranges between 300 degrees Celsius and 450 degrees Celsius, and those are indicated by the LED lights on the front of the soldering iron. Now, this is useful for that one-off thing, and if you're a DIYer, this can be really useful. I found it really useful for the one-off jobs that I may have, so definitely worth checking out. Next up, we're checking out this sensor surface light. Now, this has a few light modes along with adjustable brightness, and then you also do have a few sensor settings. Now, you can see that there is a big motion sensor right there in the front, but this is also a light sensor, so you can have it turn on just by motion, or you can have it turn on in the darkness with motion, which can be really useful if you just want the light at night. Now, you can adjust the brightness of the light as well as the tone. So if you want a white light, a neutral light, or a warm light, you can adjust that, and then you can also adjust the brightness by holding down the button. It does have a built-in USB port, and you do have a built-in battery, which is a 3000 milliamp hour battery, and it'll last about 15 days depending on how much your usage is. This does have a strong magnet on the back, so it can attach to magnetic surfaces easily, but it does come with a plate that allows you to convert any surface into a magnetic surface by attaching with a double-sided tape. If you're looking for a really versatile sensor-based light, this can come in really handy. Definitely go check this out. Now, next up, we're checking out this USB 4 cable. Now, this is a silicon cable, which is a really high quality cable, and it is designed for not only fast data transfers, but also fast charging. Now, you can see that it does come with a built-in wire management sort of strap, but this is a 3-foot cable, which also supports 4K over USB-C. Now, this does have 20 gigabit per second transfer speeds as well as 240 watts of charging. So this is a really useful cable whether you need it for fast data transfers or fast charging. So if you have something like a MacBook Pro and you want to connect it to a fast storage, this can come in really handy for that. Or if you just want to charge your MacBook Pro, this will support the 140 watts that it can take. Now, because it's designed with a thick silicone sheath, this is not going to break or fray anytime soon. And this cable itself is also tangle resistant. It's a very high quality cable, and the fact that it is available for such a low price is pretty fantastic. Definitely worth checking out. Next up, we're checking out this work lamp. Now, we've shown a similar light in the past, but that was more a spotlight. This is more a floodlight. Now, this does have the same replaceable battery standard, and you can get a massive battery for this up to 12 Ah. We are only using a 2 Ah battery, so it's a fairly small battery, and this overall light is fairly small as well. It does have a highly adjustable neck. So not only can you point it forward, you can point it down, you can point it up, but then you also have this impressive hook that allows you to hang it from any surface. The light itself is 1000 lumens at the high setting and 500 lumens at the low setting. Now, the problem with this light is that it doesn't seem to be readily available, but we'll have a link if we can find one in the description below. And this is a fantastic light for using in around closed areas. So for example, in a room versus something like the previous one we showed you, which was more of an outdoorsy kind of light. Now that completes our list for awesome online gadgets as well as tools that I've been sort of collecting over the past month. But before I close off this video, I do have a little bit of a bonus item as well. And that is this really nice box cutter. Now this is a fancy box cutter and it is built really out of metal and has a really good overall rugged design. But one of the coolest features that is built into this is that it uses a lot of magnets. So when you pop in the blade itself, it is attached with a magnet. And then it also features a built-in snap-off function. So you can remove the top part of your blade to give you a fresh new part of the blade for the box cutter. And that is also held on by a magnet so it doesn't go flying away. A really cool and well-made product. Again, definitely something that is worth having around the office, especially if you're opening the kind of packages or the number of packages that we are opening. Go check it out. We'll have it linked in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next one.